Hyundai took the wraps off the redesigned 2024 Kona here at the 2023 New York Auto Show, and I think it has a chance to be something of this year's Kia Niro. That is a significant, if under the radar redesign that ultimately collects some big awards at the end of the year. I mean, we named the Niro Hybrid our best car of 2023, so there's a chance that the Kona could follow in its footsteps. Let's not worry about awards right now, but let's dig into what the Kona Electric, N-Line, and Limited have to offer. So this is the 2024 Kona Electric, and as you can see, it's got this lighting element that stretches all the way across the hood. On the electric versions, it's pixelated, so it has these little dividing lines through the light, and you also have pixelated elements down here in the grille. It's also this very actually handsome yellow color. I've been seeing yellow on more and more new cars recently, and I'm wondering if it's this year's it color. I really like it here. On the gas-powered trim levels, you'll have slightly different lighting elements and then a slightly different lower styling because there is actually a gas engine. But for the most part, it's a good-looking change. On the electric and the N-Line, you'll have body color cladding. On the Limited that's also here, you'll get this sort of gray, vaguely rugged-looking trim that isn't body color, so it helps it stand out a little bit more. But overall, very handsome-looking car. Not quite the Niro in terms of good lookingness to me, but still pretty good. The sportier N-Line also gets unique 19-inch wheels, dual exhaust tips, and a really aggressive looking roof spoiler on the back. It's not quite the full N treatment, but that should be coming soon as well. In back of the electric, you get more of the pixelated lighting elements that Hyundai's using throughout its electrified lineup, up here along the liftgate and then down here across the bumper. The 2024 Kona is longer, wider, and has a longer wheelbase than its predecessor, and what that really translates into is interior space. This is a great use of space. The materials quality is about what you'd expect from where we think the Kona is going to fall price-wise, but it does make use of some interesting materials like this, again, pixelated fabric trim on the doors. You get this nice trim as well here on this parcel shelf. One cool thing I haven't seen before is a USB-C port that can switch from charge only to data and charge with just the push of a button. It looks a little different in the other Konas, but it is here. Also wireless device charging, lots of good physical controls, dual 12.3-inch screens, one for your instrument panel, one for your infotainment. Looks good, looks high-tech, looks modern. There's a weird blank panel over here. It looks like it's sort of covered with speaker fabric. We have not gotten a really good answer on what this is or would be. We were told it's a design flow element, quote unquote, which, sure. I don't know why it's there, but it is. It's there in all of the Konas that are here on the show floor. Another important thing is that Hyundai has made good use of switching to this sort of unconventional gear selector. It frees up a lot of center console space, and rather than just using it for nothing, you get a lot of storage space, two good-sized cup holders, more storage space, storage in the center console. It's a good use of space. And most importantly for me, this is a small SUV, but I fit just fine. Backseat is a little bit of a different story though. Now that we're in the backseat of the Kona Electric, you can start to see where there are some compromises you're gonna have to make with adult passengers. I do have okay headroom, but taller passengers would be pushing it, and my knees are a little bit higher than I would like, and the seat in my roughly preferred driving position is pretty close to my legs. I don't have a lot of knee room. One advantage of this being the electric is that there's no transmission tunnel here, so I do have some extra leg room to stretch to the side, sort of like when you stick your foot in the aisle in an airplane. But overall, not the most comfortable backseat, not the worst. I would like a little more room. But another thing to note is that Hyundai has done a really good job of differentiating the interiors. We're still in the electric. Get this nice gray faux leather, some yellow accents to match the paint color. In the N-Line, you get a sportier looking interior with some contrast stitching that really helps differentiate it as a sportier version. And then the Limited is perfectly fine. It's pretty much an all black interior, not very exciting, sort of makes it feel like the cheapest of the bunch in terms of materials quality, but overall, not terrible. But again, the biggest issue for me is just passenger room. I could use more. Hyundai designed this car as an EV first and an internal combustion car second, so let's start with the EV statistics. 48.6 kilowatt hour battery is standard, making 133 horsepower and 188 pounds-feet of torque with front-wheel drive. There's an optional longer range battery that's 64.8 kilowatt hours, and that makes 201 horsepower and 188 pounds-feet of torque, still front-wheel drive. The maximum estimated range for the electric is currently 260 miles, but that hasn't been finalized yet, so stay tuned. Hyundai does say that for charging purposes, the Kona Electric can go from 10% to 80% charge in 43 minutes when using DC fast charging. Unfortunately, it does use the older 400-volt architecture instead of the more modern 800-volt that you're finding in the Ioniq line of EVs. Other engine options, gas engine options for the N-Line and Limited, that's a 1.6-liter four-cylinder turbocharged engine with 190 horsepower and 195 pounds-feet of torque. That gets you an 8-speed automatic transmission with front-wheel drive standard and all-wheel drive optional. There's also a 2-liter four-cylinder that makes 147 horsepower and 132 pounds-feet of torque, and that gets paired with a CVT. Those are for other gas trims that have not been revealed yet. These updates to the 2024 Kona should make what was already a strong SUV even stronger, though we'll have to wait to drive it to see if it all comes together into one cohesive package. That should happen closer to this summer when the Kona goes on sale, and we should have pricing and fuel economy data around that time, so stay tuned. For more on the 2024 Hyundai Kona and everything else here at the 2023 New York Auto Show, be sure to head to Cars.com. And if you're enjoying this content, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.